Wow, it's very difficult to speak both different languages, but you know I'm trying hard, so let's see what's coming now. We have two finalists. The upper bracket finalists, Revolte. Let's give a huge cheer for them. Tapsoljátok meg őket, a Revolte csapatát, akik a felső ágról érkeztek ide veretlenül, sőt, mondhatnám, hogy szinte nagyon könnyű mérkőzéseik voltak, de hát aztán igazából hazudnék, mert ez nyilván nem így van. And let's cheer and a huge applause for the second finalist who's coming from the lower bracket, E-Frag. Az E-Fraget is, az F-Fraget is, a bolgár csapatot is tapsoljátok meg. You can stand up, guys, if you want to see the audience. Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, well, here's the cup next to me. It's a symbol of a winner. And now, in the upcoming match, somebody will get it. And not just this, a lot of money with them. 1,500 euros, that's the winner's prize. And the cup, of course. But before the match, let's see our analysts, our experts, and yeah, that's all. Come on, Bondadi, do some magic.
Welcome everyone once again at the ESL Southeast Europe Championship Analyst Desk. Like Roberto stated, I'm Bondadi, and next to me I have a new face here who is Botto, a former Call of Duty 4 pro player. He's playing CSGO on a high level 3 years ago. Welcome, Botto.
Yep. Welcome everybody. Welcome, Daddy.
Come on, Daddy, like Roberto said.
and next to him, the funny guy is from Ancients. He is Resist. Welcome, Resist. Also.
Hello.
I'm happy to be here.
How you are doing, Botso?
I'm pretty fine. I played a few one-on-one games at the Alienware Stadium, so I'm pretty good. A bit tired as well.
That's acceptable. Let's go right into the predictions. Revolte versus E-Frag. What we are gonna see here?
I think we're gonna see pure madness.
Okay, then Resist.
Yeah, I just jumped on it because you asked it. So I think we're gonna see pure madness from Revolte because, as we discussed previously, they are very, very good individually, and they have this kind of play where they just go and get the frags, and I think they're gonna prevail at the end.
Well, I think, and I can see it happening again. I mean, from the E-Frag side, they managed to bring a really nice victory in the last ESL Cup as well in Bucharest. I remember because I was playing there as well, and we managed to beat them on the upper bracket, and they've been knocked down to the lower bracket, and after all they won the whole event, and I can see it happening again. As I said, they are really good individually, and especially Dreamer and Victor, they are picking up huge frags and huge rounds and huge clutches, so I think it's gonna be a E-Frag win.
Okay, as a far prediction, what will be the score? It's hard. It's a hard question. We already discussed this. That this is the hardest question for today because we are not sure. Even if we are the experts, we are not sure about what
do you
are
know
we going to see here.
the score from the first match? It was 16-9 or 10?
It was actually 16-6.
6, yeah. So it was reverse of 9. So okay, but yeah. I think we might see something similar to that because if Revolte can get going, then they're gonna destroy E-Frag. If E-Frag gets going, it's gonna be interesting. We will see.
Yeah, if they get the confidence, they can do it. But I still vote for E-Frag and 16-10, 16-9, I think.
So you think this will be a 2-map BO3 match?
Yep, I think E-Frag gonna take both maps.
So 0-2 for E-Frag? You are going with 0-2 also?
I don't know. I really can't decide because I think Revolte's gonna take it, but I don't know in what fashion. Because if they get going, I think they have the ability to destroy E-Frag completely. But if E-Frag gets going, then it's gonna be a good match. I think we might see a 2-1 to E-Frag or 2-0 to Revolte. It's really open because the two teams are very close, but in different aspects. Because E-Frag is a very tactical team with very good setups and with very good players, but you know, Revolt in the past and in the future, they're gonna be the same.
They are playing aggressively and
they are fearless.
Randomly. Yes, yeah, perfect word. They're fearless about different. They don't even care what will happen, I guess.
Yeah, they show really no respect to any team. They just go in and get the frags, and this is what they're all about, and they do it wonderfully well.
This is because of their good aimers as well in Revolt. I mean, Caps on Zero and like Aramel and Barton.
Aramel and Zero, they are actually on fire right now.
Yeah. And I'm sure that they can be on par with the best teams on Europe, I think, because in terms of aim. But in other aspects, they might lack, but in terms of aim, this team is one of the best, I think.
Yeah, I think as well. I mean, yeah, it's everything. Like, eFrag got the strat and the smoke round, but Revolt has the aim fights and the aim duels. If they're gonna win it and they can't get the entry frags, I think they can catch eFrag. But I'm still voting for eFrag.
Still voting for
eFrag. I'm really interested. Do we know what maps are they going to play on? Because
I don't know the maps yet.
Because
I couldn't hear it from the production yet.
Yeah.
It would be great if you could know the maps. I don't know if that is possible. If somebody can pass the 3 maps.
If we might see Inferno again, it's gonna be exciting because, like they did it against CS:GO 1, or like they did it against us. They have a very strong CT side, and I really want to see how Revolt's gonna deal with it.
Let's see.
Okay, the match will start really soon. The casters are ready. The teams are ready. We are pumped up. I hope the crowd is pumped up also. So Tabu and Natosefix, take it away, boys, for the grand final.
Welcome back, everybody at home and also in the crowd. This has been filled up with people, so it is Hungary against Bulgaria in the Southeast European Championship Grand Final, best of 3 series. It is obviously Revolt and eFrag going tit for tat and toe for toe. So, Nato, what are your thoughts about that?
Well, I mean, I think most of us predicted coming into the tournament that it would probably be eFrag in the grand final. I don't think anybody kind of predicted that they would, this would be their way into the grand final. Yeah. It's a bit of a rocky road, I guess you can say, but they've made it here. And since all the other teams were Hungarian teams, it's pretty clear, or it felt pretty certain that it was going to be Bulgaria versus Hungary in the final. We're starting off with Inferno, and I think that eFrag is the best Inferno team at this tournament. So if I had to predict a team to go away with the first map, it'd definitely be eFrag.
Do you think that maybe Revolt could have been able to figure something out in eFrag's play on Inferno?
I mean, I don't think Revolt has played Inferno yet in this tournament. So the positive thing is, first of all, that Revolt had a bit of time so they could actually watch the game. Yeah. Maybe they've seen something in the defense of eFrag or in the way they build up T rounds that they can kind of use against them or abuse against them, kind of. Yeah. Whereas eFrag, they don't really have any information about how Revolt plays. So not on Inferno at least. Well, they probably do, but not from today. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it will be very interesting to see if Revolt, any team can, sit and dissect the team and find out, what it is, but it's about applying it, actually using the information you gain from watching the team play. That's the hard thing, and we'll see if Revolt are up to the task.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see, for example, the B bomb site is going to be attacked differently, or if it is going to be held differently, because I think that there are a few gaps, like tiny spaces of seconds, that could have been abused in favor of the terrorists against eFrag on CT side. There has been a gap of 1 second between the smokes sometimes. If they prepare themselves, maybe they can get it done. But they will start on the CT side themselves, winning the knife round. So they are starting downhill, and I think that's really working in their favor, getting the crowd into it, getting everyone into it, getting themselves into it, and maybe upsetting eFrag. Even though they come from the lower bracket, I still think that eFrag is the favorite in this one.
Yeah, I agree. Inferno is such a map, where a strong AWP presence is so vital, and especially if you have an aggressive AWP player, he can really do damage. And we've got RML, who is not only just an insane AWP player, he's been shown that today, but he's also a very aggressive AWP player, and I think he's going to be instrumental here in you know, if Revolte wants this map, I think it has to come from RML.
Yeah, his calling and his AWPing at the same time. So it is going to be a Barco though, starting this game with a double headshot already, shutting down the terrace approaches, but they snuck through a long. And check out library as well, but Zero is there, and I think the main performers for Revolt already show that they are awake, even though they had a small break that they couldn't, you know, they were able to warm up obviously, but they couldn't stay as hot as eFrag was. They are here, and they are here to perform.
They've been playing since 10 o'clock, you know, so maybe that's they might get tired at some point. But Dreamer, not really showing any signs of exhaustion here, gets a single kill, and then Gabeson also takes down Spidey. So now in a 1 versus 4, it looks to be a pretty impossible one, but taking out Photo is definitely the right way to start. He knows there's a guy on site, he probably also knows he's low. He now knows where Barcode is, and if he can land this shot, then that might be the way back into this round. It's not an impossible clutch, and if he were to clutch this, it would be an ace round. He's got 3 already. Now he's pushing the site, and he's so low, and there's no time left, but he gets the frag, needs to change the pistol, and so close, but RML manages to close out the round. That was very close to being a 1 versus 4 ace round. Amazing play.
Kind of damn dangerous by RML to go for the kill in that situation.
I think he kind of knew that he was running low on bullets, and even though he switched to the other USB, you know. Yeah, I mean, it was a bit of a risk, but
yeah.
I'm sure it was a calculated risk.
Pretty sure. It was RML after all.
Yeah,
so
that's the thing.
eFrag on the Tech 9 and armor buy, just working with the money. So the CT just dawned here on the B bomb site, and I don't think they really watched eFrag because they would have been prepared for that.
What a shot from Victor. He's had 2 already. They've got the bomb plant. They've even got a nice little smoke down for CT that is going to be there for some time still. And if they manage to, you know, everyone's pressuring from CT spawn, they can manage to withstand this push and get this round, that would be absolutely massive. They're going to get another frag. That's on Spy Leader, but Zero takes down 2 of this P90. And RML also takes down 1. Now Zero is looking for the 3rd player. There's no kid on him though, but he is going to get taken down. That is Spy Leader. The bomb is ticking very fast, but I think he will make it here. And he just barely will. So a good retake round from Revolt. 5 versus 2 situation. Oh, well, 5 versus 3 situation. It's pretty well done.
Yeah, and despite the fact that eFrag got those 5 men in quite comfortable after plan positions, it is kind of crampy. If you've got 5 players, almost every position is going to be taken, and some might even be doubled. So the CTs kind of know where you are. They can clean out the bomb site together, and it was a well-coordinated retake by Revolt with Zero coming up big with a triple kill. Now it's the Bulgarian squad back on the same buy, but they switched up their strategy. They go for 3 players in apartments, and 2 kind of try to force the CTs on a rotation, which is successful.
Victor once again trying to see if he can open up with that Tech 9. Not going to happen this time, but he is probably going to be pulling a few rotations here. Bubble going to be putting up massive damage to both players in pit, but Gabeson and Zero both step up here, and now it's all left to Spidey that needs to come up clutch. Takes 1. He could have actually potentially had the 2nd, but does not, and that's Revolt on the first 3 rounds, 3-0.
Suffering quite some casualties though, so the CT's money is not where it could be, and especially now after the buy. They will lack a lot of money. I mean, the display on the left side is quite wrong because it says -1,000, but it doesn't really.
Yeah, sometimes it's a bit buggy.
So they are probably down to 1K. Barcode with the MP9, MP7 for Zero, so very weak guns on the CT side, but they make it work. Foda with the double kill. Barcode almost gets the kill through. The smoke goes to Victor. The terrorists already scared away from the B bomb site, not starting the way they would have liked.
No, definitely not, but you know, it's very hard to play the T side, especially at the start. We talked about this when we hosted the other Inferno match, that it's a lot about nade usage, and Bubble trying to get some aggressive plays here, takes just 2 nades straight to the face. You know, he's basically out of the equation already there, and then when they throw that smoke, they can't really push through. So it's another pop flash that's going to come out here, and they're not going to they're actually going to get blind, every single one of them. And Barcode going to put up another flash. He's trying to make his way out. He can't quite. Dreamer's going to take him down. He takes down Foda as well. They don't really have, they actually do have a smoke for CT, and he does make the cross.
That was very close. Victor just barely dodged those bullets. Went for the plan straight away. Now it's up to Dreamer to hold on to Banana. If Banana gets opened up, the last terrorist has a big problem. He has to go for the 1v1s. He has to battle it out. And as he goes for IML, he has him covered. 3-0 in favor of 4-0 in favor of Revolte after the bomb plan. Got defused, and eFrag have to figure out how to break the CTs. There is not much that they can work with at the moment.
Yeah, but they haven't had good, you know, money control so far. And it's also, you know, we saw this in the first matchup, Revolt versus eFrag, where it kind of just, they never really got any proper economy going. And we're going to be seeing if they can actually manage that here. So far, they've actually been able to get a few bomb plants in already, which they didn't really manage so much on cash. Not the rounds that they lost, at least. And that is very, very key, as it gives every single player on the team $800 extra if you manage to get a bomb plant and also lose the round.
But on the same account, Revolt didn't purchase too much in the previous round, and they brought some Galil, so they kind of made up for that small investment.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. One thing to note, though, is that you know, Zero got a lot of kills with the P90, which doesn't really give the extra kill bonus, and then we got a lot of kills with the FAMAS. So the small SMGs, they didn't really get any kills. Barcode got one, I think, possibly. And yeah, we're going to be seeing if he can find more. Spiny, that's a fantastic shot for Zero. He's up on the boost spot. He's going to get taken down most likely, and RML can't quite connect through the smoke line. This one guy is still on site, and there's another player quite close. So they're both going to go down, and now it's left to Foda in a 1 versus 3 situation. Bubble going to be planting the bomb. He is not going to get taken down. I was sure that he was for a second there, but he does actually get the hat trick of Franks. Very good round by Bubble, and he gives eFrank the first round of the half.
Yeah, the CTs with saving the 2 Galileos and the AKs, they are fine with that situation. They can afford the buy, and they still have those 3-round leads. So even if they should, well, they can definitely come back in this one, and eFrag not winning the pistol round might cause them some trouble later on in the game, because those 3 additional rounds at the start of the game, they can be massive.
Yeah, they just need to pick up the CT pistol round. It's very hard. If you're equally skilled teams and you don't pick up any pistol rounds, it is, you know, very, very, very hard to actually get back into the game. But it is a best of 3, you know. They can lose 1 round and still make it out. We never really actually got word about the veto process, so I don't really know who picked this map, but I would imagine that it's eFrank.
Yeah, we might get some information later on. eFrag is currently just sitting in apartments trying to create an opening, and the bomb is tossed back behind with the execution in middle coming up. The smoke is in place already. RML not quite aware of where the terrorists could come from, while Dreamer picked up Zero in apartment. So one of the more important players for Revolt already taken out, and eFrag have that additional angle. Now 2 players push into CT spawn, and Foda has to hold on to that. He goes down to Victor. The terrorists are coming from all the different directions. They're sweeping into the bomb site. NKL gets killed by Gabeson, but he gets traded by Dreamer. Very good job by eFrag, making it a 1v4. Barcode trying to dig in deep in the B bomb site.
Yeah, and he kind of needs to hold on to this rifle. I don't think they have very good economy yet. Good economy. I need to try like 5 times, but it's okay. Bako gets down Victor. It's very nice. He needs to hang on to this gun though, because they don't have a lot of money. We'll just avoid that word for a while. But you know, it's the case that the SMGs, the small SMGs, the one with good kill bonuses, they didn't really get many kills at the start. But I don't think he's going to be able to hang on to this gun. The guy from behind, and Spiley is going to be taking him down. That is very, very good. That means that they're going to be forced on an eco, and that is obviously very advantageous.
Yeah, it was a close call though. He almost got the frag on the last one, and that rifle could have helped his team to deal some more damage to the terrorists. Maybe even kept them in some economical control, not really control, but within reach of the terrorists, you know. keep them low on money, keep them close to saving. eFrag is taking their time right now. They want to sniff out the CT's potential positions. They just want to roughly find out where they can be. And Revolte is having a 3-man stack at CT spawn, basically.
Yeah, they have been kind of pressuring that part of the map. Now, Victor actually just takes down Zero through the... I assume it's kind of the hole in the wall there between the balcony area and then the bedroom. So that kind of opens up the A bomb side. That means that RML has to get up closer, but eFrag are playing this very well. They know they are on eco, and they're just playing it so slow, and that's exactly how you want to be handling this. You want to make sure not to end up going into the stack, but that's exactly what they're going to be doing. They're still going to get the frags, though, and they're not losing a single man so far, but RML coming in from behind, it's also going to go down, and now it's left to Barcode, and last time he was stuck on the B bomb site, and I think eFrag knows that Barcode, he's a B player. He's probably around the B site. So they should be able to get a decent bomb plant, and yeah, it's a pretty easy round, clean sweep.
Definitely. They, as I said, they ran into the stack, but sticking together like they did, eFrag had 3 barrels pointed at the same CT at all times, so they didn't have really that big of a chance to get some damage dealt to the terrorists and return fire on that account. Revolte is back on the rifles, however, and we still don't see any AWP. They just don't get enough money. And that might be a big factor later on in the game as well. If RML has to rifle all the time, he might not have as big of an impact as he could have.
Yeah, I think that might be true. Zero is once again up on the boost, but this time he actually gets caught. That's a great space control from Gabeson, finding 2 sick frags. Now is RML. A bit of a failed smoke there, I assume, but still actually blocks off the area that he wanted to block off.
Spylene and NKL in the 2v3. The bomb is down, but the CTs are swarming out. One might come in from long, one from short, and one from apartments, and they have to find Spylene. He's in a crucial position. NKL covers his teammate as Foda approaches the site, and RML and Barcode work together. Barcode with the frag on the Spylene. The pit is cleaned up. They know that NKL is tucked in deep in the site, but he's got 100 HP and he plays it perfectly, changes the angle, gets refragged by RML, but he comes out on top and the bomb will explode. Nonetheless, no defuse kit available for the CTs. eFrag is making it 4-4 with a 4-round streak. The CTs are facing quite a struggle, not only financially, but also on the scoreboard.
But they are still going to be buying up, and we see they, they kind of keep having these a bit, yeah, I wouldn't call them the best buys at least. It's a bunch of Famuses and an M4, 3 M4s. But they don't really have many nades, and we talk so much about nades being so important on Inferno, so maybe they should just take more save rounds. It's unlikely that they'll go on to win one of the rounds where, they have no nades, poor weaponry. I just don't really see it happening.
And no real special plan in those rounds, I can see a team on the CT side buy 2-3 flashes and a smoke and just push down middle. Try to get early frags, pick up AKs, exchange for Famuses, maybe trade 1 for 2 if everything goes to plan. Maybe even get 3, maybe drop the bomb, hold on to the bomb, win the round. But they stay in their normal positions that they usually hold as well, and they don't have the equipment to defend those positions. They can't even counter flash anymore.
I think this must be a one-way smoke series trying to get into, but Victor, very important frag, and now he's actually getting shot through the smoke from behind, but still won't matter too much. Gabeson going to be taking down 1 and 0, also with 1. Now they're actually going to find another, so that's Bubble also dropped. Dreamer takes down 1 though, and 0, very low on HP, also dropped by Dreamer, so they're definitely coming back into this round now. NKO, he needs to watch his flank and make sure that he doesn't get shot here from Library, but he is going to get the bomb plant eventually.
Yeah, the CTs exchange the Famus for the AK. They have a defuse kit, so time is a factor, but not as big as a factor as it could have been. Sadly for Foda, he's still blocked off. Now they can finally go in. They have a great crossfire on the terrorist side. One is looking down the line from Pit. He can call for his teammate, and as soon as they walk into the site, they get caught out by NKL, who holds inside the site. Once again, we have the pit and site setup that works out for eFrag in the after plan. Revolte have no chances to retake, especially with no equipment. And, well, they go for the same thing again.
Yeah, yeah. Once again on the FAMAS, like three infos, 2 FAMASes, and basically no nades. And it's just not gonna. I don't think it's gonna be working for them. But you know, it's a matter of then using the smokes that you have on the right timings, the right spots. And it seems like, you know, they're just using them. For example, RML just smoked off mid. He's using them at the start of the round. And when you only have 3 smokes, you need to hang on to those smokes as long as you can.
Yeah.
And they're not even really doing that. So it looks like Revolte are kind of lost for ideas and just playing on autopilot here. And that's not really working too well.
Yeah,
for them.
they play as if they were in control, as if they had enough smokes. But yeah, once again, just going for the default positions, not going for anything aggressive, not feeling out apartments, for example. You can set a few traps in apartments as well. You can put even pistols in apartments and they can do damage. But they fail to push into banana. They don't play aggressively on banana. You know, you can still smoke back in there.
What is going on with
Barcode seems to be lagged out. He didn't do anything over there until you got tagged like 5 times until they got the kill. Oh, let's see what Foda's able to do, because at least he holds on to construction site, keeps the door open to the B bomb site. And yeah, Barcode just lagged out, so that is a huge bummer for Revolte. E-Frag on the other side, in firm control, and the CTs try to get exit frags. I don't know if they really go for it. They're on the doorstep, but they are still smoked off. Now they push through the smoke, but it might be too late already. Spy Leader and Bubble get the kills. 1v3, and Victor closes it out. E-Frag make it yet another round in their favor.
6 rounds in a row, that's very, very well played. You know, not only with the lack of nades they have, can they not really hang on to the sites that they're defending, but also it's really hard when they, you know, E-Frag are so good at, you know, just keeping their nades for when they really need them. And so they usually just take the site first and then smoke off the areas where the CTs are going to be retaken from.
Yeah.
If they don't have any flashes, they can't go through those smokes. And they don't have any flashes because they don't want to eco. So it is definitely, like, if ever, it was the time now to go and, you know, get an eco in. But it looks like RML is still going to be purchasing Peter 15 armor. I think that's because, you know, he still gets enough money so that he can actually buy an AWP next time, even if he buys it like this. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it works out. But they need to kind of stop the freight train that's going on right now, which is E-Frag.
They are in a spiral of death, so to speak. They're downward spiraling, not only economical, but also on the scoreboard. 6 rounds in a row for E-Frag. This is a very, very good terrorist side already for them, and they are looking like they could make it 7-4, maybe even more than that. And if they make it more than that, I don't really see Revolte coming back. But I expect E-Frag to have chosen Inferno, so it's probably their map pick.
I think it's also like worth mentioning that it seemed like the round where Barcode kind of, you know, got thrown out or timed out. It seemed like they actually had pretty good control. You know, he was standing there behind Fountain. The first guy coming in got shot, and then the second guy came in with an SMG.
Yeah.
And they had full armor. I mean, he could have most likely killed the SMG.
Yeah.
And then it was a 5 versus 3 situation. He might have gone down, but it's a lot easier to retake 4 versus 3 than 4 versus 4.
And he would have had a smoke that he died in hand with.
Yeah.
Might have just split up the terrorists as well and made it even easier.
I mean, there's a lot of... That round could have ended very differently, but unfortunately it really didn't because of Barcode, unfortunately timing out. And then he got a VAC authentication error as soon as he rejoined. So they're trying to get a hold of a Smurf account right now, and it usually doesn't take very long to get on a Smurf account. But if you didn't know, if you get the VAC authentication error, it's probably one of the most annoying bugs in the game, or like errors. You can just
one of the many.
Yeah. Well, you can join up on another account, and if you've got another account, which most people do, like a Smurf account, then you can just join up on that account and you can join, and it's no issue. If you try to fix it on your main, it usually doesn't end out too well.
So the CTs have the time to walk through the next round. They can make a plan. I think they should not really... Obviously, Barcode has to focus on fixing the problem, but there are admins on the stage already. They handle the problem. So the CTs should lay back a little bit, say, okay guys, we had a good start, we had a very, very bad middle part of the map. Now we have the chance to come back. We can talk about this. Where did you have problems? How did they break through? How do we approach the next rounds? Maybe we see some aggression of the CTs because they're really running out of options.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's kind of just the wrong mindset, the wrong play style that Revolte have, because, you know, they've been winning they've been playing 2 best of 1s and they won them both. And, you know, the first one, eFrag were not very good and Revolte just hit all of their shots. The second one, you know, they also won fairly easily, and they hit their shots. But now, I mean, yeah, they're probably still hitting their shots. A guy like Zero on 12 frags in 10 rounds is not bad at all. But, you know, it feels like they're battling 1 versus X every single time, and they never really support each other, not with flashes, not with anything. They don't bait for each other, they don't really help each other. And when you face off against a team like eFrag, like when they get going, they can be really, really solid, not only just individually, but also as a team. So if you try to play individual Counter-Strike versus a team, you're gonna lose. That's why the best players are the ones that
it's like the Virtus plow.
Yeah, exactly.
If they get rolling, you can't stop them on your own. You have to have your teammates next to you, and even then it's gonna be tricky. And I think eFrag kind of resemble them on an maybe not individual skill, but on a team play base. They focus a lot on the team play, and the players definitely have some fun in the server right now. Victor just relaxing his wrists. You sadly didn't see that, but it was quite funny looking. And yeah, the same that we talked about on the CT side goes for eFrag as well. They can say what worked very well, what could we work on, how did we end up in a few situations that might have ended differently, how can we avoid ending up in those situations. So we have that pause is kind of really crucial, how the teams will do with it.
But the problem is also that, you know, in the other Inferno game that eFrag played, I'd say they had a better CT side than the T side. So if they're putting up 6 rounds already, and we're only 10 rounds in on the T side, you know, it's going to be hard for Revolte to get back when they get T side, and you know, it's not their map pick, so they might not have so much planned.
Yeah. So we are going to let the analysts talk a little more about this first part of the first half on the first map in the final of the Southeast European Championship. Thank you for tuning in, guys and girls. Stay tuned. We have small technical issues right now, and they will be resolved in just a moment. Analysts, there you go.
Welcome back to the analyst desk. Well, let's wrap it up. What happened? The start for Revolte was promising, as we saw there.
Yep.
They started pretty decent.
Yeah, Frag started off pretty well with the 2 headshots on Banana. Then it came together because 2 Ts were stuck on the library side, and it started off pretty well. Then they got the first gun round, and after that eco, it seems collapsing because, you know, it's 4-6. And as the Shoutcaster said, it's going to be a tough job for Revolte coming back on the T side because eFrag has a really, really strong CT side on this map.
Yeah, it's like getting 6 rounds at the really beginning as the terrorists like this. I mean, they lost even the pistol round, and they have 6 terrorist rounds. It's pretty huge. It's pretty good for them, and it's not even their map pick, as the caster said. So it's gonna be a really hard life for Revolte to bring it back, especially because eFrag has a really good CT side. They have like pop flashbangs and
they have
smokes.
very good setups on the CT side because the smokes are always on time. After the smokes comes the Molotovs, then the flashes. I experienced it myself on this LAN.
You felt that?
Yeah, I felt the pressure. I guess we got like 2 rounds against them on T side. It wasn't the best, but
and it wasn't enough?
You can say so that it was not enough, but yeah, they are pretty tough on the CT side.
Yes, so probably most of you are asking what happened, why are we waiting right now? What we can see from this angle They are changing the pieces for 1 or 2 players actually. It won't take too long, but of course the player have to set up once again, set its config, set every bind, every important.
I'm really curious because Barco was on fire previously and he was the one who was putting up the frags for Revolt, and now he's the one who needs to change his computer, and I'm really curious about how he's going to handle the situation mentally. That okay, this happened, now can he move on? Can he perform at the same level, or what can we see?
I think it's better for Revolt now because they lost 6 rounds in a row.
Yeah.
So they took the first 4 rounds and they lost 6 rounds in a row. So this is good for Revolt to retalk everybody.
Basically, on the other hand, they have time to discuss.
Yeah,
it's
they
like
have time to regroup.
Yeah, they have a timeout actually right now.
Yeah, the pretty good one.
Yeah, especially like now because no Zen in a party. I mean,
I think this is more annoying for eFrag because they started to play, they started to improve during the match, and now oh my god, we have to stop.
I don't think so because eFrag is a pretty chill team, as the shoutcast had told that. Even on the server, they are making fun of each other and they are having fun. So I don't think that it's gonna annoy them too much. But on the other hand, I do think that the T side of Revolt is going to be much more stronger than the CT side because of just the fact that they got together like a week or 2 weeks ago and they are pretty good individuals, and it's going to show on the T side, I think, much more than the CT side, because at the CT side you need to be more precise, you need to execute much better on the CT side, because if one of the sides fail, then 2 players is really hard to do anything.
Yeah,
but on the T side, even from a 2 versus 5, you can come back.
Yeah, in CT you have to like organize your retakes and everything, but in T side you don't have to. I mean, if you land 2 headshots with the AK-47, you can go into a site, execute it, and that's it. But in CT side it's a lot harder with molotovs, flashbangs, and smokes. So yeah, I think as well that the terrorist side is going to work up a lot better for Revolt.
Yep.
So you are still going with eFrag?
Yeah, I'm still saying eFrag is going to win this. But yeah, I try to cheer for a bit for the Revolt guys to be a better game, to make a better game.
Well, like I said before, they are mixed teams, so they can stand up whenever they want.
Yeah, and Zen is missing the in-game leader. RML is he's a good in-game leader as well in Hungary, but it's not kind of Zen, I think.
Yeah, but he's pretty famous of calling, okay, just rush here, just go there, just take the under there, now they're gonna get destroyed. This is how he leads.
Yeah, well, RML and Zen, they are really different in-game leaders.
Of course.
Zen is analyzing everything, and how did you say that?
He's very immaculate at making tactics, you know, and he has these crazy ideas. Okay, guys, I think it's gonna be A. Go stack 5A together.
Well,
and it works.
In the weapon round.
Yeah, of course. So he has these crazy ideas. Sometimes it works, but sometimes it doesn't. And when it doesn't, it completely fails. But
there's two options. So
yeah, of course, it's always 2 options, or either A or B. But
but yeah, RML is one of the in-game leaders who is like, okay, guys, stack together, 5 stack together. Let's walk up middle until the first contact. If they'll even spot us or something like that, just rush in.
Just go.
Yeah.
No matter what, just go.
No matter what, just go. Just go there. Try to make the important frags and plant the bomb and do it how you want.
They just bark, okay, do 5 headshots, and I sit back, and he's going to do it because he's capable of doing it.
Yeah.
He's the doctor.
RML is a more simple in-game leader.
Yeah.
But he's not bad at it at all.
No, he's not bad.
He led his team in the grand final of the ESL Southeast Europe Championship. Yeah. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Even though he wasn't playing a lot Counter-Strike nowadays, I think.
Yeah. In the last couple of weeks, months.
Yeah.
He was actually finishing his degree or something like that.
He's working like
continuously
3 or 4 months ago, I think.
I see.
So yeah, but he wasn't able to play that much as he used to before.
Yeah, and also this is the typical style of Revolt, that they just get together, they go down and play, they don't even practice. This is really typical of them, even online, when they have some huge matches, they don't care, they just sit down, they do it, and really, it seems like working.
This is pretty normal for us in Hungary, because we see this at every LAN event, basically, that teams are getting together, players who know each other, okay, let's play, and wow, we are in the finals, yeah, then let's win it.
To be honest, this is just sad for me, because you can see the potential in the Hungarians, but if someone would go there and get some structure, or get something behind them, or some good practice, it would mean that we could qualify up to the Hungarian team to major even. But that's the problem, that we just get together, we play, and we don't care, and this is very typical of us. Yeah,
but
we need to change that, in my
Take a look
opinion.
on CSGO 1, for example. They
Yeah,
are like
the same.
putting a hard work into the game, into their tactics, and they fall apart now.
Yeah.
I mean, they just been knocked out.
Yeah, the faces after their loss against Efrag, I saw Flash's face and also Maeve and Tabu were like,
Well, they
oh
were
my
sad
god,
because
how did this happen?
yeah, well, like they were sad because they just managed to put into the game a lot of hours, you know.
I
in
don't
the
know what
past
was
few weeks.
strange to me that I really didn't see any emotion in them. So they weren't sad, they weren't angry, they weren't even happy. They just, okay, we lost, let's go home. This is how they handle it. And this was crazy
They
to
had
me
this
because
typical derp face, right?
yeah, because when we lost, I was angry. I wanted to punch the monitor, but obviously I couldn't. But you know, and
Tell me you didn't, please.
no,
tell
I
me you
didn't.
didn't.
Everything is good inside, but
I'm gonna
yeah.
check it. I'm gonna
I'm
check
going to check it too, Rare.
You know, but they don't have this kind of emotion, and it was just curious that why. It's like they gave up at the middle of the match.
Well, I think it's a lot better if you don't get angry and smash the monitor if you don't
but
get a frag.
it seems that it just tells you that you
But
have
it
passion,
seems
you
so
know.
simple.
Yeah, but you play with passion, you know, when you really want something, it shows in the game as well.
Yeah, but it's good that you said that because Flash was one of the players in 1.6 and also in the early CSGO stages. He was the guy who was always pumped up and he was like, okay, come on guys, let's do this.
He has
let's
a lot
do
of emotion in his game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but
now
today we saw the same thing from him, but from the other side of the team, they were lackluster
we
because
saw something flashlight or something like flashlight. Oh my god.
side jokes.
The puns are starting.
Start swinging out the flashlight. Yeah.
No, no way.
We are on the pitch perfect. But yeah, it's good.
And what do you think? How it's gonna go on in the match?
I
Can you
think
predict the score, for example?
the score?
Now we know 4-6.
Because both of you said Efrag is going to win. I'm going with Revolte.
No, I
It-
didn't
it's
say that
worthwhile.
Efrag is going to win. I'm going to say
Then
I
why
was
did
saying
you
that
It was me. It
Why
was
did
me,
you,
basically.
then what?
I did say that
You just
Revolt
hide
can
away.
take it.
Yeah,
What?
he was.
You did hide away.
Yeah, of
I
course.
don't predict. I don't predict anything. I don't know. But at the end of the match, I knew it, but I didn't want to say.
No, I didn't. So I think that Revolt has a chance, but I don't know because the T side is much stronger. But I saw what Efrag is putting up on Inferno. I think it's gonna be hard.
It's gonna be Overpass or what's the second map? Do you know? Because I don't
guess.
I don't know because when we got here the first time, we didn't know the maps. Now
Yeah.
we know Inferno, and still I don't know the second map or
Okay.
the third.
Yeah.
So
I hope the commentators can tell it to you which will be the second map and the third map. We would like to hear it also because where we are watching the match, sadly we can't hear the commentators, but we are going to listen now. So, Tabu and Natusepix, take it away once again and let's continue this grand final.
Thank you for taking this break and analyzing in depth everything that we can and that we can possibly talk about this game. We are back with the action. With me is Natusepix, so we are here in the first map of the grand final, best of 3. 5-4 in favor of Efrag.
Yeah, they must have restarted the round.
Yes, it was happening before the first frag,
Yeah,
so
it
it
makes
kind of
sense.
made sense.
Yeah, definitely, and it's only it's the only right way to go, in my opinion. It's not fair that, especially on land, where it's definitely not your own fault ever,
Yeah.
that you lose a round due to something crashing. So yeah, I totally understand that. But we've seen Zero 3 times up in this blue spot, and they should by now know that he apparently frequents this place. But he can look over the smokes, and that is
Maybe
why
it's
this spot is so good.
Reverse psychology again.
Yeah,
He's been there so many times, he's surely not going to go there anymore.
yeah.
But they check him and they will get the frag, so it is a 5v4 advantage in favor of the CTs. Gabson pulls it back with his USP. But, well, his HP is whittled down quite far, so he has to have RML ready to take the fight. As Barco pushes through the smoke, he goes down without anything. And Foda is alone on the B bomb side, no chance for him.
Yeah, so there's not really much he can do here. He's going to run into NKL in just a second here, and NKL will find the frag. So I think he was trying to just, I think he was just trying to save his gun, actually. But unfortunately ran into NKL then mid, and he wasn't ready for that. So
Some taunting there in
yeah,
chat. Loving it. So, by the way, we received the map veto. The second map is Cobblestone. an overpass would be the decider if we need it.
Needed, yeah. So we see it again. The many FAMASs and a single M4 and a lack of nades. They have 5 smokes this time, and that is crucial. Like, that is the most important nade in this whole game. So if you have a lot of those, then it's usually good. Like, you can obviously flashes are also very, very good, but if you've got enough smokes, then it usually isn't a problem.
At least they can block them off, even though they would have liked to have those additional seconds that the Molotovs or incendiary nades can take off. But they gotta work with what they gotta have.
Yeah.
And they gotta work to have more. Right now it's an equal trade in mid, and the terrorist slicing through to a long, flaming off Gabeson, who walks into the flames to trade himself, making it a 1-for-1 again, and leaving it at a 3v3. Zero has to step it up. He gets a kill from the boost spot from inside the pit, basically, but above the pit, and the terrorist didn't know where he was. They should have.
Yeah, they kind of should have, but Victor, yeah, he's just going to be dropping down instantly. He does get the bomb plant, so there's a bit of extra cash there. But what Zero did was he's playing once again in a very uncommon spot, just like he did on the you know, the roof of quad there, and he had thrown a smoke, so it's not really a one-way smoke, but they can't really see him until they get up close, and that meant that he could kind of battle the guy on long before he battled the guys on short, and that was very smart. Then he could jump down, and he had really good cover and really good duels. So Zero proving that he's not just aim, he's also brain, and it's very, very nice to see how he can, you know, utilize different ways to actually giving himself an advantage here.
Yeah, and with that he gave his team not really the advantage, but at least the chance to maybe get back into the advantage. Frag still on the full buy, taking it slow up middle. The A-bomb set is still the way to go for them, compared to the other match where they ended up on B quite often. They switched their playing style, making it a 4v4. His spy leader and Gabeson. RML goes down to NKL, and now it's up to Baku to have the right timing. His teammate is still holding on. Zero with the double kill. Baku comes in with the right timing, and Zero picks up the triple. So he's really up for the challenge. 17 frags, out-fragging everyone on the server. And in 12 rounds, getting 17 frags, that's a lot.
Yeah, he's going ham today. And it's the funny thing when you have these one-day tournaments, you know, the players that usually play well at the start of the day, they also play well at the end, because you only ever really have bad days. You don't really have bad, you know, well, you also do have bad matches occasionally, but it usually is the case that when you have multiple days, it can also just be about who shows up on the day. But today, either you show up or you don't.
Yeah, it's be there or go home tournament.
Yeah.
If you're not up to it, then you gotta take and swallow the bitter pill.
Good Molotov comes out by Foda, and Barcode is totally flashed, and he's going to get caught. Foda going to be pushing in through the smoke, and he is kind of spotted by a bunch of players, but he gets 2 kills, then gets taken out by NKL. So a repop of a smoke here from NKL, and that is very nice. 2 kills with the Galil so far. They have some pretty good positions, and they also have used their smokes very well. Now, I think Dreamer needs to get up towards the side, as he's kind of been lurking around in mid, but his teammates are going to be standing up against these CT players that are incoming. Zero trying to see if he can find anything through the smoke, and he can't quite find the angle. And then, that's it. That's, you know, NKL gets 2 more kills, and that single kill that Zero did not get, I think that pretty much decided that round.
Yeah, Frag is back at it, and the CTs didn't have the chance to build up that much cash, so they're once again back in a situation, lacking the equipment, no head armor. Famas, Deagle, Max 7, second last round of this half. They have to get it. If they don't get it, that's gonna be a really bad CT side for them. It is already.
Yeah, again we see another force, you know. It seems like they just don't know what an eco is. They've just been forcing, and a bit of a missed nade there would have been doing tremendous damage onto Zero. But we have a Mag 7 in play and a Deagle, and it's going to be interesting to see if they can even, you know, actually have an effect in this round. But Zero, another failed nade there. I don't know if they can't line up the nades, but Zero's going to take down one, and now he sees Dreamer. Dreamer takes him down, but RML quickly replies. that means that the counter-terrorists are now in a advantageous, position in terms of players.
Manpower, yeah. Sadly, they can't claim the same about their rifles.
No, but maybe they don't have to. It seems like, the first 2 Franks, they've gone in the way of the right team. If you've got, Hungarian glasses on, and not a lot of time is left, so it could be a bit of a problem here. But it is a 2-2 stack. They stack 2 players on either side, and with a Frank like that is going to help them massively. Now Victor's trying to get out here of the apps area, and Gabeson's trying to see if he can land in the eagle shots, but he can't quite. NKO takes him down, and now RML actually gives away his positioning, but he still gets a kill, and Barcode closes out the round with another kill onto NKL. So 7-7 on the scoreline.
They make that force buy happen, and maybe that's why they go for it, because they win 2 out of 6, and that's enough for them.
Yeah, but it's quite clear that the break kind of killed the momentum for eFrag. And we'll hope that, breaks don't come too often here in the grand final, because it is more fun when you see one fluid game, and therefore, momentum doesn't get broken by pauses. That's never nice. But Boda gonna find one. He almost finds the second. He does find the second eventually, and then he gets taken down by NKL, who takes out both players. So 9 HP on NKL, and he is gonna get the plant on the grill. Except if this nade comes in just in time, it doesn't actually hit him at all.
Yeah, the nade's tiny radius, tiny amount of damage. NKL with the 9 HP, Dreamer supporting him from within the site. And Dreamer exposed himself already to the CTs, retaking the site. He picks the fight. He knows he wanted to keep them away as far as possible, but RML is there, picks up the headshot. It's NKL from behind, and he is not going to take anyone with him. It is 8-7 after all. Revolt managed to have 1 round lead, but if eFrag win the pistol, that's gonna be in vain.
Yeah, it's gonna, it's starting to look dire if they lose the pistol round here. But Revolt picked up the first pistol round, so it it will be fair for them to pick up the pistol round. It's not about fairness, but if both teams pick up a pistol round, it's those 3 rounds that they usually get from the pistol round would equal it up in that sense. But then eFrag would be here with the lead and also the superior side, the CT side. So currently it's looking in favor of eFrag, but anything can happen. And if Revolt manage to pick up this pistol round, you never know what might happen.
Yeah, they are definitely not out yet. Let's see what they can achieve. They leave 0 behind the bottom of Banana to keep them from possibly being backstabbed, while eFrag have 1 player in B, 4 players on the A bomb site, opposed by Revolt, who are about to run through apartments. Dreamer already spots him, sprays the brains on one of them, but then goes down to the second. NKL doesn't do any damage. Bubble is the only one on site, and he has to hold on a little longer. His teammates are already coming for the help, for the backup. Victor has some trouble, takes a long time, but in the end it's Barcode up against 3 CTs. He's in apartments, they know that already. They fake the bomb, he exposes position. They're all hunting for the frag, but he just doesn't give a damn about that. He just dances around, gets another frag. Now he's got Victor on low HP, he's out of bullets. He realizes and clutches the round. Quad kill for Barcode. Heads up play to realize that Victor didn't have any bullets anymore, so he could step out without being contested.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge misplay by eFrag there. What they should have done is they should have planted the guy in pit, watching the angle on apps so that when the player tries to jump up on the truck and then up to the balcony, trying to fight him close, if he decides to peek out and try to kill that player, he gets shot from pit. And if he doesn't peek out, then, the player that jumps up has a fair fight. Then he could also have 1 guy defuse him. And with that, with that setup, it's really, really hard for him to do anything. But they peeked him 1 by 1, and he did hit some crazy, crazy good shots. But a huge misplay by eFrag, and that was kind of, their round to lose.
Definitely. I think they were a little hectic because of the lack of a defuse kit. They knew they kind of needed to hurry up. And if they kept their cool, I think they would have had this round. Barcode went for quite a few, too many peaks. He knew that there was nobody on the bomb, but he still went for peaks, and that was quite risky.
Yeah, I mean, that is very true, but it's also hard to stop a man who hits shots like Barcode does. And him and Zero, they've just been absolutely amazing. Victor playing close to this smoke, and there might be a lot of players rushing him. So, I mean, the only thing that Revolte can really do to counter this is if they start spraying through the smoke. But that will also be really, really bad for eFrag, because then the B site is pretty much theirs.
Yeah. Now Victor. Oh, Victor goes for the smoke spray as he fades away, just sniffing out the terrorists, smelling their sweat as they were kind of scared to push into the site. But the scariness was basically not really rectified. They just pushed in, got the 3 frags, made it a 2v4. The CTs on the back foot, trying to save their armor, and the 5-7 and the P250, of course.
Yeah, because they're going to be looking to play another round where, you know, they're either going to eco or they can save these guns. And even though it's not the biggest guns, on CT side it doesn't really matter much. You're still going to get the money if you, you know, survive after the bomb explodes. So it's essentially just a nice little bonus. Then they don't have to, you know, then they don't have to sit there and play with pistols and no armor. And also they could potentially, you know, if the terrorists decide to push them, it could potentially be the fact that they pick up a few kills, but RML actually knives Zero?
How did that happen? That's just... I know you have to have something to do when you're running and when you're strafing, but why would you always left click?
Yeah, keep it away from your teammates, please.
Yeah. It's also, usually it happens at the spawn, and it's usually not that big of a problem because it's like maybe 10, 20 damage. But wow, that one was a huge bummer.
That was an interesting flash timing from both teams there. They kind of timed each other's flashes, and that resulted in RML getting the entry frag onto NKL. Now Dreamer is going to be pulling back into the CT spawner. Spider is going to be playing close to a smoke once again, but they haven't gotten a lot from these, you know, close smoke sprays. We saw Maeve have a lot of success with playing in smokes, but Spyleader actually manages to get into Boiler. Zero is just not ready for it, but Spyleader cannot quite connect. And the stack is on the wrong bomb site, so it looks like a free bomb site for Revolt, and it should also be their round.
Yeah, it's looking like an 11-7, and if they are winning that, you know, those rounds, and you already pointed it out, you never know where it goes. eFrag would be down 4 rounds. The likelihood of them coming back into this one is rather slim. Gabson picking up one with the tech and gets traded, but Dream and Victor just want to stay alive.
That's a nice double.
So 11-7. Revolt in firm control at the start of this half, obviously converting those mandatory rounds in their own favor. 21 kills on Zero, 18 on Barcode. They are showing up, and it's so important for Revolt to have somebody to rely on, to get the opening kills, to close out rounds as well when it's needed. And let's see if they can make it out on top of this rifle round. The economy on eFrag not quite too high, so they can't really buy too many smokes. They have to do it barefoot.
Yeah, but Zero is also still with the Galil. For RML, with shots like that, you don't really need you don't really need money. That's a great shot to open up into the 19th round here.
Banana at first cleaned out, so they thought, well, let's poke there again. But Bubble reinforced together with his teammate Spyleader. So they hold on to the B bomb side, leaving the A bomb side a little open, and the terrorists are quick to, well, not capitalize yet, but at least they have gained the ground. NKL is behind the smoke as Rima tries to hold them off a little bit to give his teammates some more time to come in with the backup, and the bomb gets dropped behind. NKL with a great play. Zero with a brilliant frag. Another one follows up. Zero is on a roll again. He's turning it into a 2v2, 35 seconds on the clock. Revolt is slowing it down. They wait for the CTs to make a mistake. One more flash, has to blind them all, doesn't do it, but the bullet will do the trick. A trade by Spyleader, 24 now on the clock. Foda against Spy.
And what Spyleader should really do in this scenario is not contest the bomb, just play left around the bomb site, where he is actually going to be taken down here by an amazing shot by Foda. It's a very good one click, and even though he's only on 7 kills, you know, it's nice that he can step up when it's needed.
Speaking of high impact frags, that was one of those. Revolt win the rifle round, make it 12-7. Now we've got 5 FAMASes on eFrag, and they do the same that Revolt did. But compared to Revolt, they have even less to work with. Only 2 nades, they can do massive damage. But the Terrors do a good job of staying away from those for now. The smoke's already depleted. The Terrors just have to take their time and wait the CTs out.
Yeah, and Foda, once again, you know, they find the entry frag on the B side, and now another. Foda takes out 2 players. Once again, we see Spidey, they're quick on the rotation, but it's not going to help them as Barcode is ready for him and instantly just takes his head off. Now, the 2 remaining players are pretty much stuck around the pit area, and that's not really going to help them much. I mean, they are most likely going to be able to save their guns, but we actually have a bit of a lurk here from Zero, who has been doing massive work in the amps area, and he might be able to find a frag or 2. That would be massive. We also see the T's on the hunt. They've got decent economy, so they definitely should be going for this. And I think it's not going to be easy for the counter-terrorists to hang on to the guns.
Yeah, they are zeroing them in, and Zero will come out on top of his fight. Dreamer with 1 back, but Gabeson removes the last gun. Revolte with a very sturdy lead, and the crowd is getting into this game. They realize Revolte might pull the upset and might win the first map. And if they get this first map that, once again, we haven't seen them win, at least we didn't predict them to win this,
yeah,
they could have a decent chance at winning it 2-0.
Yeah, I think that's a very very likely thing that could be happening. You know, Cobble is not a map that I usually, you know, see E-Frag as being super strong on. So it's a very good veto that they've actually got. I mean, third map was Overpass, I believe, which is a map where I don't see Revolt winning. So I think if they want to win this, they need to win in a 2-0 fashion, and picking up Inferno is definitely a good start.
Yeah, and they might get one more step closer to that goal, as the CTs are, well, they are of course spying, but it's VZZ 75, 5-7 for Dream and NKL. And no stacks, no impressive play, no creativity, just the normal standards. And I don't know if the standards are going to do the trick for E-Frag right now.
Well, they're going to put up a good smoke. There isn't too much time left on the, you know, on the timer. But Molotov's going to be coming in, and you know they don't really have any more smokes to work with. But the CZs up close, they are going to be very deadly. And Spidey is going to get 1 frag. That's all he's going to get though, and then he's going to just pull out of there. Zero takes out another. Spidey gets 1 more frag. Ooh, it's so close that he finds another, and now he's just going to make it. He's going to make it out of there. He doesn't have any more bullets actually. And Bubble, if he finds Foda here, this might go in the hands of E-Frag. He does so indeed. He picks up an AK as well, and now Dreamer finds Zero. Last man standing is on a single point of health. And he's got, you know, enemies coming in from pretty much every single angle possible. Spidey that is going to get him, and it's a 3rd frag for Spidey in the round. Running out of bullets, grabbing another gun, and then it's, you know, eventually finding the last frag. That's a very, very massive round for him.
Yeah, and he performed very well against CSGO 1 already, just earlier. So he's keeping it up as well. E-Frag on 8 rounds, surviving that scary situation. The CZ75s will do the trick. Even though 24 bullets only, he still is going to make it work for E-Frag. So they make the lead get lower a little bit. I mean, 5 rounds is still a massive lead on the terrorist side. They can still definitely work with it. But the CTs build up some more money, and they have incendiary nades and smokes. And we talked about how efficient E-Frag is with that.
Yeah, it's the first round where they really have nades to work with, and that is their #1 strength, especially on a map like Inferno, where grenade usage is just so powerful, and it's, you know, it's vital. Spidey is taking a lot of damage there. Usually he goes to this shoulder peak and then just throws the smoke when he sees somebody. That was exactly what he was trying. He did see somebody, but the guy that he noticed there saw a bit too much of Spidey and managed to bring him down to 36 HP.
And that's a good start for the terrorists. Weakening the defenses on the B-bomb set makes the A defenders aware of the danger on B. You know, they know, oh, okay, one of our teammates has been tagged quite low. He has to stay back. He can't go for any peeks. He can't go aggressive anymore. He can support his teammate, but he can't really pick any fights. So they have to watch out on B. And Revolt realizes, oh, they might be aware of B. Let's push A and let's get it done over there. The B defenders will probably go for a save.
Yeah, Bubble unfortunately don't really have any more nades to work with, and he's challenging like 4 players at the same time. He does take down 1. He's still surviving. For some reason, he's gotten 2 already. Now Foda is eventually going to pick him off. Enkel with a massive frag, and Dreamer also with 1 and a second. That is very well played by eFrag, who, you know, managed to actually prolong this Inferno map for now. We'll see if they will be able to, you know, string together a comeback here on the CT side. Now that they've got the nades, it looks much better.
Yeah, I think also Revolte was working very, very slow, and I don't know if that is going to work against eFrag, because they have those positions pinned down, they can help each other out, and they can set up those crossfires. And to break a crossfire, if you walk in there, you're going to be dead. If you run in there, you might be dead, but your teammate might be able to get a refrag, because you open up quite some angles if you run in there. They have to, well, they have to drag their mice a little further, and that might give you the edge.
Yeah, but good Molotov users coming in once again. What I notice from eFrag is that they have a tendency to not use their Molotovs when the charge comes in. Instead, they use it to make sure that the charge doesn't come in. But this time it does. Victor is going to be taking the first frag. Spyleader going to be finding 1, going to be finding 2, going to be finding 3. And then goes down to RML, who is trying to open up this round. He's got 2 as well, but will eventually drop to Bubble's M4 there. And it's 13-10.
Yeah, the terrorists need to watch out to not fall into the dark space in the back of your head that you think, oh my god, why didn't we close it out earlier? Now we're gonna lose this. Are we? That's the real question for Revolte. Can they pull it together? Can they brush off those streaks that eFrag comes up with right now?
Yeah, I mean, Zero's trying his hardest to be the carry of the team here. 26 frags in 23 rounds. That is absolutely amazing, but you cannot win a game on your own, especially not when, you know, the other team has 5 players. It's never going to happen. So he needs his teammates to also step up here. And right now they're only on pistols, but they might still be able to get this round.
Or at least a plan. That's what they are looking for right now. eFrag stays as far away as possible. Just going for the long-range fight. Wants to avoid being headshotted. The bomb goes through, so first objective achieved. Revolte tries to dig in deep. They have Zero coming in from behind. He could change the outcome of this round. The CT's already very close. Zero rushes in there. Foden gets some put up, some resistance. AKL with the frag. It's a 3v3. Zero is able to pick up the AK. It sprays, but doesn't get the kill. It's a 1v3. Barcode still able to get another frag. He puts down. Oh, he burns actually. By accident, runs in the flames. He was so close and taking him down.
Victor saved by the fire there. That's definitely a Molotov of dreams. But yeah, the terrorists now with the bomb plant going to be able to buy up fully, and it's going to be another rifle round. And this could be one of the deciding rounds. Whoever wins this has a much higher chance of winning this game. If it's Revolte, well, it's their way back into this game. If it's eFrag, it's kind of the way to make sure that they're shut out of the game, because they might have to go for another eco or, you know, whatever they might feel like.
Yeah, I think they still refuse to eco.
Yeah, they haven't really been big fans of the eco throughout this map so far.
They start off very slowly, at least in this one. Just like they did in previous rounds, and they just don't find any opening frags. eFrag stays back quite far, they don't expose themselves, and they just play a very sturdy and disciplined CT side right now. They did have problems with that in the first 2 gun rounds, but now they're back on track. And I think they have learned the lesson in the previous 2 rifle rounds. They realized, okay, if we don't play our very best game, we are going to lose this. So let's step it up, let's get to our normal level, and let's put them down. Revolte.
Spider has actually rotated over to the A-bomb site, so it's a very good read. Now they're going to be 4 versus 5 here on the A-bomb side. Good Molotov comes in, very good Molotov actually. RML has to push through this and doesn't. So Bubble kind of gets a free frag there, and Spiley just manages to get out of there. That's a very good idea. Now RML drops so low by the Molotov, but the charge is still going to be coming in. Gabeson gets taken out by NK. He needs to find more. He finds 1 more. That might just be enough for Bubble. Then goes down. Spiley returns quickly though, and Barcode is going to be getting the plant, but will he find any more? If he finds Spiley here, ooh, this gets dangerous. Victor fighting a guy with only 22 HP left, but it's not an easy 1v1 as he could be anywhere, and Barcode is just playing this perfectly. Victor thinks that he is on shot when he isn't, and Barcode, he is going to be winning this round, it looks like, and he is! What a play by Barcode, the 1 versus 2, huge misplay by Spy Leader, but set aside that fact and think, you know, how many times that could have gone wrong for Barcode, but just the trigger restraint and just the sneaky beaky like movement there on the side, it's beautiful stuff, very well played.
Yeah, outdanced him. The thing is that Zero made it happen, or made it possible with his own double kill. And now we have eFrag being angry, being a little instigated there, rushing down middle, trading 2 for 2, but dealing a lot of damage to RML, trying to make Revolte pay them respect again. But I think the Hungarians have gotten a nose full of success, and they want to smell some more of that.
Yeah, I think that is very, very right, very true. But we have NKL for once actually posted up in an aggressive position, and I think the T's are going to be going to the B bomb site, so it will be interesting to see what Spy Leader can do. He doesn't have any nades, and it does not actually look like that will be the case. Or is this a fake? Because if this is a fake, this is far too slow, so they kind of have to play on the smoke. Zero going to be the man to go in first, and he has been hitting some insane shots, but he's up against Victor, and he isn't a bad player, that's for sure. Now, he's actually going to be battling 2 at once. Zero picks the wrong angle, ooh, and he gets both frags, that is massive. RML with only 7 HP, the wise choice here is to just save. They don't have much money left, and they just reset the loser bonus, so you know, saving will be the wise choice, but he does not decide to do so, and Victor does actually pick up another frag, so a hat trick of frags there, and you know, the terrorist economy is in ruins.
Yeah, 6k for Barcode, but that doesn't really help his teammates to buy up, so he could drop a few pistols, even though it sounds weird. They get equipped with Tech 9s. eFrag is back on track, resetting the loser bonus, just like you mentioned, getting close to 2 rounds difference, and especially keeping Revolte from getting that momentum.
And a good Molotov coming in, and they're just taking all the battles and they're just winning them. They haven't even lost a single point of HP before Spy Leader just takes a bit of damage then. Zero left in a 1 versus 5 situation, no armor and just a Tech 9. There's really nothing he can do. The best thing that he can do in this scenario is to try and get some guns off the counter-terrorist players, but it is unlikely as he doesn't even have armor. Dreamer is probably going to be the first line of defense that he's going to be running into, but it's going to take a while as he's turtle walking up there.
Yeah, he is going to take his time, 55 seconds on the clock, so Dreamer is going to be patient, though. Oh! The occasional weapon switch almost messed up the situation, but he still has it covered. eFrag closed the gap to only 1 more round, and Revolte could go for a buy. They will do that.
What is an eco? I don't think they know. Every round they've been buying something. Armor, Tech 9s, you know. The word eco just isn't in their dictionary, I believe.
Maybe you should ask some Hungarian people over here if they have something like eco in their,
yeah,
in their dictionary.
Yeah.
Maybe they would like to call it, but they just don't know how.
Yeah. Please.
Go for
the no money round.
And then everybody starts buying, and wait, we saw that on Hellraisers. Everyone does that right now. So
no money round? Oh, you mean we have to have no money? And then
yeah, that's it. No, that's completely wrong. The coach is going wild behind them. Yeah, let's stay in the game though. Revolte with 4 rifles and a Tech 9, and only quite a few nades. They tried to poke into the CT's defenses. eFrag is aware that they have Galils. They already heard Gabeson fire those rounds, so they know that they can stay back, make the terrorists commit, make them run out of grenades, and make them go in there bare bone, looking for kills. I don't know how high the chances are.
This Molotov is so good. Oh, Bubble not aware that there's a guy in the Kirby area. Now it's all left to the single player stuck in pit, and it is Dreamer. He has an AK though, and he's got one of the best aims at this tournament, but he is going to be going down. And Spy Leader also dropped by Barcode, so it's 1 versus 4 for Victor. Might not even be able to find a single frag, even though it looks like Wow, that jump from Foda, that just caught the timing so well. Barco going to be dropping, and Foda also dropping. So Victor might not be able to win this round, but he is definitely going to be going for it, and is going to be taken down by Zero eventually. And that means that Revolt are now on match point on eFrag's map.
And once again, it was Zero stepping up at a crucial moment in time with a triple kill in a round that we didn't really see go the way of Revolte. 31 frags for Zero, and they have 2 map points, I should say. It's a best of 3, so eFrag still have a chance on the second map, which is Cobblestone. And they still have 2 more chances to make this go to overtime, and I don't really... I would definitely see that coming. I definitely see eFrag burst out with a few frags. I think they are quite angry.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have too many chances. You know, they need 2 rounds, and if they lose just 1, they're out of it. But you see the off angle coming into play again. This is something that they definitely like to do.
Yeah.
Gabeson is spotted, so he will be going down soon enough, I'm sure. It's a very interesting setup, but it really works for them. And, you know, even if a smoke comes in CT, they're still going to be here. They're still going to be ready. The only thing that can kind of counter them is a flashbang. But who would flash that area?
Maybe one of those flashes that are botched, that you think they're completely wasted, and then they blind both players. Doesn't happen though. Spy Leader picks up the first one. Wow, Revolte just runs in there, the double kill. The CT's on a quick rotation, but only Bubble is there to try and do something about the bomb plan, which he is obviously not going to be able to. Dreamer and NKL coming with the rotations, 1 from Banana, 1 from CT spawn. We have seen a clutch like that already by eFrag, and they will start off with a very good double kill. NKL and Dreamer come in at the same time. Barcode bites his time. Great play by Barcode. Just brilliant to hold his fire like that. He can call, and now he can go for the spray. Now he delays the CTs. His teammate takes out the diffuser, and it's NKL to save the day for eFrag. He spots the shoulder, but goes down to Foda. 16-13 in favor of Revolte. What a great match by the Hungarian team.
Yeah, fantastic play. I don't think, you know, we here at the commentator desk, I don't know if, you know, the analysts were kind of back and forth, you know, but we didn't really give them much of a chance here on Inferno, but they proved that they really deserve, you know, recognition, and they've definitely earned my respect from this tournament so far. You know, they haven't even dropped a single map yet, and they've played 3, and they've played eFrag twice. I mean, that is some performance.
Luminosity all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, Cobblestone,